So this video has been a long time coming, and a lot of you had been requesting this one. We're talking about the housing market and what we're doing, what we are talking about for millennials, first time home buying, second time home buying. It's all about the housing market and why we stopped looking for a house.
Sad day.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Justine with Debt Free Millennials, the channel to help you crush your debt and live payment free. This is my husband, Kyle.
Hey.
And housing market. Wow. Let's talk about this.
Okay, so we've had a couple of friends who are in our same age range within 5 years. They have bought houses. One couple offered $100,000 over asking price and didn't even get a call back. They ended up settling on a different house where they paid $85,000 over asking price.
Now, this was in the San Diego area.
Yep.
So keep that in mind. But yeah, $85K over asking is redonkulous.
And then another set of friends, they bought a house for $65,000 over asking price. So that's not an anomaly. These are the stories we are hearing throughout San Diego. Our realtors are telling us it is just bonkers. There's people paying all cash up to over $1 million. There's people that are buying sight unseen with that much money.
Mm-hmm.
Who are these people?
Who are these people? Let's get into it. So the first part of this video is reasons why the housing market is so crazy hot right now. And the second part is kind of our journey with trying to buy our first home for the first time and kind of what we're seeing other millennials do. All right, so reasons why the housing market is so hot. One, inflation is just going up like crazy. And with the rise of inflation, more than the average 2 to 3%, we're seeing over 4% from the previous month. That means stuff is going up. The prices of houses are going up. So you're going to see those valuations just go up like crazy.
It's more the inflation impacts the supplies to build new houses. So wood is 3 times more expensive than it was. Copper, concrete, all that stuff is going up. And now there's a chip shortage, a worldwide chip shortage. And how many of your smart appliances have computer chips in them? We're seeing that with cars. Not that that's videos about cars, but car sales are suffering from that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing is there's no inventory. There are now currently more realtors than there are houses for sale. First time in history. It's the lowest amount of houses for sale for the percentage of population we have in the history of the United States. So that means demand is going to be through the roof. And with loans having a record low rate on mortgages, money is cheap right now. That's where that saying comes from. If you've heard people say money is cheap, it's with respect to the interest rate.
So interest rates are less than 3% on average.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can get it even lower. And I wanted to pull up from the National Association of Realtors, the housing shortage tracker. And so you can see definitely the state of California is just like, there's no houses. There's no houses.
Yeah.
You're going to find this across the country, an increase in demand for houses as well, because during the pandemic, people were saving money and they were finding that they were getting these stimulus checks and thinking, okay, yeah, maybe it is time to move. And so that increase is definitely making the housing market just crazy. We've never seen it like this before. Keep in mind that Kyle and I are in our early 30s. Well, I'm in my early 30s. This guy,
I'm mid-30.
is
Mid-30.
gonna be 35 tomorrow. But anyway.
So to go along with a lot of the housing shortage, if there are houses that we want to buy, when we go on Zillow, we actually have to put the price $100,000 less than what we would end up spending because people are going so high over asking price. So The shortage is bad enough that there is not a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house for sale within 45 minutes of my office that is under $1 million.
Yeah.
So you see that? It's laughable right now. It's just unbelievable. And it's like that across the country.
Yeah. So even if we decided to move out of the state, we are still going to, granted the houses out of California are a lot cheaper, we're still going to run into the issue of we're probably going to get into bidding wars. We are going to pay over asking.
Absolutely.
That those things are the same if we were to move out of California. So let's talk about our journey thus far.
Okay. How much do we have saved?
So we have close to $126,000 saved for a down payment. We started saving for that actively probably about 4 years ago, maybe less than.
And are we going to stop contributing?
No.
We're still plugging along.
We are still saving, and if you are in the same situation where you're like, should I be buying? Cool your jets. I don't think this is the right time for us to buy because of all of those reasons we mentioned.
Maybe your local market is different. That's the thing is we're from San Diego. If you're in Maine, if you want to move to Augusta, Maine, they will give you $20,000 to move to Maine. That's actual real thing. You can look up these websites that tell you like how much money can I get to move to these different places. There's cities that will pay you to move to their city.
Yeah. So we have a pretty big down payment saved, although this $126,000 doesn't get you that far in a market like San Diego.
No.
However, we are going to continue to save, and our bare minimum that we are saving is $750. Almost said $1,000. $750 per month, and that could fluctuate depending on our month-to-month budget needs. So where are we putting that monthly contribution?
Well, our current money is in a bond index fund. It doesn't grow as fast as a regular index fund, but it doesn't fall either. So it's a little bit more safe than a normal index fund, but it still grows. And that's where we keep all of our money. Now, our new contributions, we're going to start to do a little bit more risky investments. Maybe it's some kind of new thing that we haven't heard of yet. I also have a strategy that I use for my Robinhood account that has gotten me close to 25 or 30% returns over the past 3 years consistently. So we'll start throwing more money in that. We are only doing that because we have so much already saved. If you are just now starting to save, do not put that stuff in a risky investment. Put it in something that is going to be more secure. We used to cheer on high yield savings accounts, but since the rates have gone down, they're not all that spectacular. They will be again, but that was one area we had a lot of our money was a high yield savings account.
It's still there. I want to back up. There is still money in that high yield savings account.
There you go.
So we have part of it in a Vanguard brokerage account, just a standard brokerage account. You can open this with zero money, and then you can invest in bond index funds. I have a whole video on bond index funds. If you want to check that out, I will link to that in the description box below. And then we also have part of the money in a high yield savings account with Ally that's earning something like 0.5%. That's nothing. The bond index funds for us had earned over 5%. For me, if anybody was asking me what they should do, I would say continue to save, and not jump in when something is stupid, expensive, hot. We have to wait and be patient and wait for these houses to basically go on sale. It's like the stock market. Would you buy a stock when it's at an all-time high? No. You'd wait for it to go down and buy it when it's on a discount.
The factor in this is time. How long?
Yeah.
Nobody can predict that. I don't care how much news you watch, how much analysis you think you've read. You cannot predict when the market is going to go down. You can't predict when it's going to go up. But we know that as things get higher in price, they become more risky. That's just an inherent, that's math. So eventually they're going to come down or stabilize, and inventories will go back up. And if inventories go back up, hopefully prices do the opposite. But we're just going to wait and see. We're going to pause. And it sucks because we really, really want a house. And that's the other part of this. It's such an emotional purchase because you walk in and you go, I can see a Christmas tree there. I can see the kids and the dog over there, and the fireplace and a book over there. And like, you see those things and they get you. They hit you right here, right?
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
We know that. And something that you touched on, time. We have a 3-month-old baby. And so we know that eventually we are going to outgrow this 1,200 square foot apartment.
Yeah.
2 bedrooms, 2 bath. We're already feeling a little like the walls are caving in on us. However, we're going to make it work. Yeah. We have to find the positives in where we're living at right now. We rent. We've been in this apartment for closing in on 6 years. Our rent is $2,800 a month, and we know that this is still the cheapest option right now in San Diego. If we were to move into a single family home, that mortgage is going to be at least $3,000, wow. Most likely more.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that whatever house we go into, that we absolutely love it. We love the location, school district, all of those things. So it is an emotional purchase. And if you're feeling that squeeze of like, I'm outgrowing my house or we're starting a family, you got to breathe through it. And remember that the more that you can save right now, the better that it's going to be once you get into that home. That's the way that I view it. A realtor is going to say, you got to get in while the interest rates are at an all-time low. So in the end, you got to really decide what's best for you and your family. If you're just, if you don't have any kids and that's not a factor, then please, yes, wait. Would say wait. Let us know in the comments below what you're doing. Are you with us? Are you in the waiting game and being patient with us? If so, please leave us a comment so we know that we're not alone. Yeah. And then we should give you an update maybe midway through the year and let you know exactly where we're at with our down payment journey and what we're seeing with the housing market.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. We hope that if you've already bought a house, you're happy and you can spread your joy to all of us who are very envious of you right now.
And we're playing the patiently waiting game. Until then, we'll catch you in the next video.